Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the VoiceIt Show. How is everybody doing? Wow, this is the Big 20th episode of the
Yes.
VoiceIt Show. We made it. Gosh, but where is Funky? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was asking
Guys, yes,
myself.
yesterday was a very, very fun day because it was Todd Kern's birthday, you know. And joining us is Todd Kearns. Let's ask him.
Oh, damn it. Wow. Thank you for the well wishes. Wow.
Dude, you guys, you look so similar there. Whoa. What's up? How are you, Funky? We are at the 20th episode.
Yeah,
How is
finally.
everybody?
Um,
Look at the chat, dude. It's fired up. Hello,
There are some
hello,
people
everyone.
there.
Thank
hi,
you so
Amber.
much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. This is special for us, and it's so special for three of us, obviously. But we feel glad that you guys, all of you, viewers and listeners, have been such a big part of our journey. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts,
Yes, thank
and obviously, a special thank you to all our patrons.
you. Yeah, a big shout out to Amy Paradi, Adam Gorak, Shelly O'Neill, Chris Vickery, and of course, Amber Slimhome. Thank you, guys.
Yes, many of them are in the chat right now. So thank you for
Thank
being a
you.
great part of the VoiceIt Show, our
Yes.
journey. And finally, we have the URL we always wanted. So now
Yeah,
it's easier to find us.
yeah, you can subscribe easier.
youtube.com/the VoiceIt Show. And great it is. So do subscribe if
If you
you haven't already.
Yeah.
And great day today because last week we had Brother Lathan with us from Beasto Blanco. And today we have an amazing personality, powerhouse of Beasto Blanco, Good Riddance, Authority Zero, Shelter, so many bands, and a fantastic dad, power drummer. Please welcome Sean Sellers.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey everybody.
Welcome.
Hello. Welcome to the VoiceIt Show, Sean. How are you?
I'm
Thank you for
good. How are
joining
you
us.
guys?
Excellent.
Really
We're
good.
doing great.
Good,
We are
good.
so excited today to have you. So first of all, thank you for taking out your time this morning for us. We truly appreciate and great to see you.
Absolutely. It's
So
nice to
how
see you guys.
and how has the year been? That's pretty much how we start. I guess unless 2020 ends, we're gonna ask everybody how has 2020 been.
The main question.
um, I'm super positive guy, so I just look at all the good things that have happened this year, and I don't know.
Right,
I've had a whole bunch of like weird little good things for us this year.
right.
So, I mean, it's been kind of a crappy year, but at the same time, there's been a lot of great things. So,
True. So a great mixture of good and
Yeah.
yeah,
bittersweet moments, I'd like to say.
yeah.
So that's great. And just now, folks, we were discussing backstage uh, where all Sean has played, and it was so fun
Yeah.
that he was describing about Sarajevo, his trip to Bosnia, and uh, somehow we ended up chatting about landmines and so
Yeah, the
would you
best
like to
people.
share your travel to the land of Bosnia with us, Sean?
Absolutely. So I pulled up the map to try to figure out exactly like where we went. And so
All
I
right.
feel like we did I
Mm-hmm.
had just such a crazy wacky drive, but I feel like we went
Uh-huh.
from Zagreb Belgrade
Right.
to Sofia.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
And then we made our way all
Gosh.
the way down to Thessaloniki, and then all the way down to Athens.
That's so cool. So
Whoa.
you went to
Greece.
Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, all the countries, the
Yeah.
Balkans. That's so amazing. And it's very special to me since I live in Sarajevo and I barely know anyone who's even been here or let alone played here. So I love that. Yeah. Did you like Sarajevo?
Yeah, it was amazing. The whole trip was amazing, and this band was very cool. It was they're a Canadian band called the Real Mckenzies.
Yeah.
And
Oh wow.
very much into, locals, local food, like local everything. The more
Mhm.
local we can get with the people, the better. So like in that
True.
band, there were like restaurants on the side of the highway in Spain that knew us,
Mhm.
because every time we were there, we were like, oh, we got to go there. We have to. So that whole trip
Wow.
down, we kept pulling over and just eating at amazing restaurants and meeting different people, and then having guides and, trying to navigate
Right.
through some of this. Like I remember we got stuck behind a funeral parade,
Oh
and
wow.
like through some little village. We finally get to the border, and
Mhm.
or actually before that, we got to one border. They denied us and made us go all the way around to a different border.
Wow.
So
My God.
we made it to one of the shows, I'd say about 10 minutes before we had to play,
Mhm.
because we had to literally go around the country to a different border to come
That's
all the way
crazy.
back down.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Gosh.
But it was good fun.
Man.
Like, I'll never forget it.
What a trip. True. 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 Definitely.
Yeah, and about the landmines, we still have them, a lot of them in the countries from the
I was
war
still
in the
surprised to know that.
90s. They're still not, removed. So yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
was,
so let me start with the interview, the questions. So I want to take you to the very beginning. Tell me, were you musical as a kid?
yes. I played piano for a few years in grammar school.
Wow. Uh-huh.
But I always kind of had a little thing for drums. My older brother was the one who got me into music. He got me into everything. He got me into first metal, and then punk rock, and then new wave,
Wow.
and then reggae, everything. And I'll
Wow.
never forget, we used to like put Kiss records on, and first Black Sabbath record, and we both have tennis rackets and pretend to play guitar. And when my
God.
freshman year, I was in a band and didn't have a drum set. So I didn't even get my drum set till I
Oh.
was 16. So
Mhm.
June of 1990, I got a drum set. September of
Okay.
1992, I went to Europe in a band.
Wow.
I graduated high
Wow.
school and went to Europe in a hardcore band called Downcast.
That's
Wow.
amazing. And
And
But could you
yeah.
could you play when you were in the freshman year though, even if you didn't have drums?
no, it was just,
Okay.
my friends played guitar. I mean, we'd get together and hang out, and I'd bang on the bed. But it wasn't until
Uh-huh.
my third year in high school was when started playing shows, and
Wow.
but that band Downcast is what
Mhm.
changed my life forever. Like my first show with them, and it was a real show, I
Wow.
lost my freaking mind. Like, I'll never forget it. Like, this band worked me so hard, because I was a pretty crappy drummer. I'd only been playing drums for like a year and a half. We play this show,
Mhm.
and I'll never forget, the singer just at one point turns around and points at me, because I went from this quiet little dude to Animal from the Muppets all of a sudden. And
Wow.
everybody was just like,
Whoa.
where the hell did that guy come from? And who is he? Whoa. And
Right.
I was
Freaked out.
high from that show for like a month. The feelings inside, I was like,
True.
okay. And then we went to Europe. We basically
Cool.
broke up for on that tour. Didn't make any money. Shows canceled. Didn't care. I was on the airplane coming home, and my only question was, so when do we go again?
Right. The adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah, just unreal. So I was 18,
Yeah.
and now I'm 46.
Wow.
And still playing
So,
Don't seem
strong
like
every
that.
time. Stronger every time.
yeah.
Yeah.
About being in a band, but playing an instrument in a band, but not having an instrument. I know how you feel, because I don't have a bass, but not long ago I was the bassist of a band. So that's a pretty interesting experience, and I relate to you. So yeah.
Once you get the
Wow.
instrument, though, that's where it all changed. Because
Yeah.
it's
Right.
harder for a drummer because it's so loud. But
True.
like, I'll never forget the moment I learned how to separate like a kick drum beat and not make my right hand follow it. I was in
Right.
school. I was in class. I don't even know what class. I didn't care. I had 2 pens, and I was playing a Social Distortion song that had a kick beat
Wow.
that moved, but made me keep doing this. And I was in class, and I was like, ah! And as the class turned around, I was like, sorry. Just went back, and the whole day, that's all I did.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get home. And then, because once I
So
had the
cool.
instrument,
Yes.
then it was on. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to skateboard and play drums. I don't care about anything else.
Wow.
So cool. Yeah. Because that's the feeling, right? When you
Yeah.
own an instrument, it's like, when can I just go home? It's surreal. And when was the first drum kit? When did you get it?
June of 1990, I think.
And how old were you then?
16.
Ah, funky, Becca.
Yeah, we're 16.
Yeah.
Gosh, such a great beginning.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then the band I'm still in today, Good Riddance, I joined that band in 1995. So I was 3 years out of high school, so hungry to tour. And at the time I live in Santa Barbara now, but I was living in Santa Barbara then also. And I became good friends with this band called Lagwagon, who are still some of my best friends. Their original drummer taught me how to play drums the way I play now. And Derek, him and the singer Joey, my local band happened to be playing with Lagwagon in Sacramento, and Joey and Derek were like, hey, Good Riddance needs a drummer. And I was like, what? Wait, they're on Fat Records. They tour? Okay.
Yeah.
And so they toured all summer. This is literally like May of 1995. They toured all summer, Good Riddance. They had like a 3-week break. They tried me out. I could play every single song, and they were like, cool. All right. And then we went to Europe like a month later.
We got the drummer.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
That was 25 years ago.
That is so. Wow. That's exactly my age, 25.
And so if you fast forward, the first producer for Good Riddance, his name is Ryan Green, and he changed punk rock in the 90s because he was a metal rock producer. And then Fat Mike from NoFX met him, and Ryan changed it all, because now all of a sudden punk records don't sound like crap. Punk records sound like, wait, what is this? Because he was a metal producer. So it's big and epic. So I met Ryan in 1996. I did 2 records with him, with Good Riddance. I did a Real Mckenzies record with him. I did a few other sessions with him, all the way up to early 2000s. We've always been great friends. Fast forward to 2018, 17, Ryan calls me. He says, "Hey, I got a session for you." I was like, "Fuck, about time. It's only been like 10 years."
Only.
He was like, "It's super important. You gotta come down." All right, okay, cool. When? He was like, "Well, come down early. I want to work with you on this song because I really want you to get this gig. Super important." No problem.
Yeah.
What's the band? They're called Beasto Blanco. All right. Don't know who they are, but whatever.
There we go.
I'm in. Cool. I love it. I listened to it. I was like, dude, this is awesome. I tracked these songs.
Totally.
I ended up doing 5 songs that are on the new record. And
yeah,
I hadn't even met everybody. Like, I didn't even meet them until like I was kind of done with these songs. And
there they are.
it just so happened that their old drummer Tim couldn't get on Monsters of Rock, and Chuck literally within 10 days was like, you want to go to Florida on the cruise? Dude, totally. He was like, here's the set list. I showed up. We rehearsed the whole set one time. Chuck came outside with me. He was like, "Dude, will you be our drummer?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Are you kidding?" Of course.
Fun times.
Who wouldn't?
Man. So, yeah, switching between so many bands, and yet you have this connect with everyone. That is really, really cool. And this exchange, and even though, so I'm sure every band has their own style, let's say rock and roll or punk. So was it difficult to like shift between these styles? And even one of our friends, Mike Usnick, he has this question, how different is the playing style when playing for Beasto and then playing for Good Riddance? So we'd truly like to know.
So, Good Riddance is super fast.
Yeah.
Some of that's my fault. Most of it's probably my fault. So there's a physical element to Good Riddance that that no other band I've ever done. Basically, if you listen to Good Riddance and listen to what I'm doing, it's like I'm pretty much running a race for an hour at full speed.
Yeah, I bought the videos. Totally. So,
but with the speed comes chops, and I can move around. But the hardest part that I've actually, as I've gotten older, has become easier. And basically, my producer Ryan Green yelling at me constantly to slow down, because I get super excited. So I'll tend to push everything. But now, so switching, but it's good because with Beasto Blanco, we have backing tracks. And I'm on a click track. So that ropes me in, but it's also I have to switch, and I have to try to rock out and be comfortable. You have to definitely get into a different frame of mind. And I practice it though. Like I will practice. When I practice like 5 days a week. I will start my day with the song "So What" from Miles Davis. So I'll work on just a swing beat. And then I'll do 2 Chris Stapleton songs that are both in 3 and very slow. And then I'll move into my friend's kind of reggae ska band called the Mad Caddies. I'll play a couple of their songs. And now I'm warmed up. Okay. Now I'll play Beasto Blanco. And I always make sure I do the songs with double bass, because I never played double bass until I got in Beasto Blanco. So I'll do
Oh
those.
wow.
And then from there, I'll move into like Good Riddance songs and just faster punk songs.
Cool.
I'm currently working on a record with a smaller band that I'm in called Versus the World. So lately I've been writing
Cool,
drum
man.
parts, and I'll play through some of those songs and just, you know.
Oops.
And he left.
Lost connection.
Okay. That was
Yeah,
unexpected.
lost connection. He'll be joining us soon.
Yeah, we're
But
just gonna.
what a cool story. I hate it though. And here he is.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello. Welcome back.
Hi.
Part 2 right in the part
Oh,
1.
it's so weird when it first starts, it does the robot thing, and then after like 60 seconds,
So,
everything is all good.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's because when someone powerful comes up, that happens, I think. Hi, Kara. How are you?
Hello.
For
So,
some reason, I feel like, Kanak, it's your computer that does the glitching. Because Funky, whenever
is it?
you talk, it's all good.
Okay, wait. Let me mute myself. Okay.
And same with you, Rebecca.
Well, let me say with me now.
Yeah, see, it's all good.
Oh wow.
All good
Okay.
now?
Oh, see, now you're good.
Yeah. figured it
God.
out. Yeah, we are on
Cool,
four
no
parts
problem.
of the world, so this is
It's so amazing. It's
Yeah.
so amazing when you think about it.
Happens. Technical
It
things.
is. It is.
Seriously, when I started
So-
touring, like, it's something we talk about. Like, we're so used to, like, you just look at your phone and it tells you where to go now, like anywhere in the world. When we used to
True,
tour,
right?
it was like we'd have maps in our cars and our tour book. No
Crazy.
joke. I am not kidding you. Our booking agent in Europe, in the tour book, it would say, drive to the center of town, look for punks,
Whoa.
and then ask where the show is.
No way.
And it
Wow.
worked.
Wow. Yeah, they know
Gosh.
everything. Wow.
But that's also funny for some reason, because it's like, hey, there's this show happening, and like, oh yeah, it's in that direction. Why do you ask? Because I'm playing.
Wait.
We've had
Gosh.
people where we're like, hey, do you mind getting in the van and showing us where it is?
Shoot the way. Gosh. Yeah. Man, that is fun. So, with the playing style, fast and then slow, your practice routine is basically so stretched out. Like you practice everything that's up to speed and then going slow.
Yeah.
And I have this drum question, although I'm not a drummer, but many a times so happens that when you're playing fast, I suppose, uh, even if drummers play like for years, but when you're playing fast, the sticks normally slip from your hand or something, if they do, and it becomes a problem. Now it becomes a problem to me if I'm playing fast on a guitar and the pick starts slipping away from the fingers. So if does that happen with the sticks as well? And
Yes. But
what? Yeah.
so for me, one of my drum heroes, who happens to be a friend of mine, who also happens to be the producer for Good Riddance and the drummer of the Descendants, Bill Stevenson. In the
Wow.
late '90s, when Good Riddance, when we switched producers from Ryan Green to Bill Stevenson, Bill, which I have my stick here, there's this grip tape on here that
Wow.
happens to be, it's called
Cool.
it's tennis racket tape, and it's
Oh
like
yeah,
gauze
yeah.
tape. It's very rough. You just wrap it, you wrap it on the sticks.
For the
If people
grip.
borrow my sticks, their hands they look like they went through a cheese grater. So I got
Wow.
calloused hands, but the thing is, I
True.
rarely drop sticks. And with this, I can I can barely hold the stick, and it's all good.
That's cool.
That is so amazing.
And
That's a great advice.
I'm a
Yeah.
sweaty dude when I play, and my hands are so I needed something, but I also so like when if you ever go bowling at the bowling alley, and
Yes.
there's a fan for your
Yeah.
fingers before you throw your ball, So
Yeah.
I always
To
have a
draw them.
fan next to me drumming, one for airflow, but if I have a break between songs, I put my hands down by the fan to dry them off.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like bowling, so that I just should try to get that moisture off,
That's smart.
Right.
Weird.
Indeed.
I mean, I stretch before I play. I was a cross country runner in high school, and all the stretching that I did running cross country, I've taken over into my drumming, but I also stretch my hands and fingers.
Wow, so. Is that a part of your, before the gig routine, or how do you prepare mentally and physically before every gig or a concert?
A lot of stretching, and I'll spend. So say there's 3 opening bands before our band.
Okay.
I'll be stretching kind of throughout the night. My hands, or I'll hang out at the merch, and people kind of look at me like, "Dude, you doing yoga? You getting ready to run a race?" And be like, "Yeah, kind of." Obviously, you've never seen me play drums. You'll understand later.
You'll understand totally.
And then I'll go backstage and I'll do I'll just do it. It's called whatever. It's a warm up on my practice pad, but of triplets.
True.
And it'll take about 5 minutes. I'll do a little triplet warm up. And I'll go hang out for a second, still stretch. Now, by the second and third band, I might go watch the band for a song or two, but I'm back and forth between stretching and just playing on the practice pad, just keeping my hands open. I'm completely sober before I play shows, so I'll just, I'm drinking water and walking around, just trying to just stay loose so that when I get up there, I don't cramp anywhere,
Totally.
And I also tell myself in my mind, just like the practice room, except in front of people.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's very profound.
It's crazy that because it's a really hard thing to do, like for hours, right? Like the shows you do with the Beasto Blanco. For example,
I'll be honest.
You have to be prepared for that, right? My mom play drums, and she says to me, "Oh, you don't really know how hard that is," and she gets off like sweating a lot.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like it was so hard for me to find one photo of Sean with a shirt on.
There's not too many.
There's not too many, guys.
Actually, it's pretty funny. A lot of my friends, when they do see me with a shirt on, they're like, "Whoa, you do own a shirt."
We are surprised that you are in the interview using a shirt.
Yeah,
it's
true. How? So, how was your Freak Stream experience?
That was
you guys
awesome.
played this year. Awesome, right? Because it was so fun to watch as well. I did not watch it completely though, but it was amazing. And Victor Chalfant, our friend, he is crazy for Beasto Blanco. Such a great guy.
He's a great person.
Totally. And so, how was the experience with the Freak Stream? And were you also on the ship, the Queen Mary?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all of it was awesome. It was so great. Especially getting to be on the Queen Mary, because there's just so much history with that boat, and
true.
you know,
Any anything spooky? Anything spooky happened?
yeah, they have these like these meters that can, you know,
Yeah.
read energy and whatnot, and it was going off a few times, like quite a bit actually, when Calico was talking, and
Wow.
it was pretty trippy. It
Got
was
it.
a lot of fun though.
Right? Brother Latham described, he was thinking of something like you have to repeat the word or something, and something crossed his mind, and the word was like happy or something.
Yes.
And right after they took it off, and Chuck was like, "Hey, I'm feeling happy" or something. He
Yeah,
was so shocked to hear that.
I
yeah,
love
That's a
story.
fun thing, I guess.
yeah. It was super
Yeah,
cool.
right. It's so amazing. So, here we have another question from our patron and viewer, which is kind of an important question. How is Chris doing now?
He's doing good. Hey, Chris.
He's here. Wow.
Let's see if I can get him. Yeah, he's got to go to work here in a minute.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, Ashley's gonna take. Yeah, I know.
Yes,
Hey,
this is gonna
yeah,
be
I know.
so
Take
fun.
come say hi to the peeps. They were asking about you. He's doing
Hey,
really good.
how are you?
Hello.
So great to see you.
So he's in India. She is in Bosnia, and she is in Brazil.
Oh, very cool.
So somebody just asked a question. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah, just going to work.
Chris
Pretty much.
Chris.
Just,
That's so awesome, Chris. We are so happy that you're doing great right now. And
thank you.
we were one of the many well wishers that wished you during your tough times.
Thank you.
And it's so glad to see you. You doing well, and you always have our best wishes with you and love
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
So good.
All right, you can go back and get ready. It's like, dude, come on,
So
Dad.
cool.
He's kind of
Gosh,
used to it though. That's pretty funny.
awesome. How did because I remember it was your birthday, and Chris was going in. If we can at all talk about this, and
Yeah, for sure.
I guess Chris was going in for another chemo
Yeah.
round, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
So how did that, the entire episode or the incident change, your perspective towards life?
I mean, it's crazy. So I lost my older brother. That's who Chris is named after. I lost him when I was 21, so in 1996.
Oh wow.
So that in itself taught me to appreciate life, every moment, to live happier, and then having to deal with this, and and I've transferred that philosophy over to Chris. He's super positive, keeping the PMA, the positive mental attitude.
Right.
It made us a little smarter about just
Right.
we went vegan. It made us be smarter about what we put into our body. Not that we didn't know that, but like when you're faced with it,
Right.
my girlfriend Karen, she was a huge help with our diet and really like helping us understanding things like celery juice in the morning and doing these smoothies and certain things. And we stayed positive through all of it. I had my moments, like he's going through chemo and I couldn't go visit him over my birthday.
Yeah.
But it made me realize for sure, like him and I are gonna, he's my co-pilot, he's my Chewbacca, and he's always been my co-pilot. He's always been my little buddy, my best friend. But it's like,
True.
yeah, well, we're just gonna live in the same town together forever. You know, like it's made us even more close, I guess.
Yeah, totally. And
And
you guys
it's
have a lot of fun as well
yeah,
together,
always,
always.
definitely,
So cool. So cool.
yeah. So it's
Well,
made us appreciate, I guess, just everything. And it's made us appreciate life. You know,
totally.
it makes you understand what's truly important. You know,
Yeah,
the garbage on
that's the correct.
the media, the news, and the things that really don't affect your day to day. Because when you're facing something like that, that is your day to day. You
Yeah.
know, how do you approach that? You
Such an
know,
important point. Yes.
yeah, we're in a pandemic. Well, okay, but the sun's shining. I'm gonna go down to the beach. My kid's gonna go to work. You know, I'm gonna make dinner
Yeah.
tonight. Like, whatever.
Right.
I'm healthy.
Right.
You beat cancer. Shit, we can do whatever.
Yeah.
Now what you got? You know?
Yeah.
Well, now
True.
what?
True.
You got shit. I dare you. So it's made us
Gosh.
stronger, made us happier, and more
So
appreciative.
cool. Totally. Totally. And it's like, that's the thing. Even us doing this podcast or starting this podcast was totally, this is how we set out, like we'll talk to our heroes like you, but it's not gonna be all like the typical interviews, like even though it is sometimes, but you're like, what is this? How was your journey? Whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's like, to spread love and to, even say hello to family members, just as
Yeah, sure.
Chris, and to everyone. You have touched many lives as well, not only through your career, through your work, but many of your friends, and even when we talk within the circle, like there's people like Vic and so many of they are friends now, and uh, it's so cool to talk with them, and they have so many great things to tell about you, as in they speak very highly of you.
Awesome.
So that's really fantastic to see this personal connect rather than, obviously the professional thing is there, but this personal connect is awesome. So
Yeah.
once again, I'd like to, uh, send our love to Chris.
Yeah. He's
Keep rocking, buddy. Life ain't stronger than you.
seriously.
So sure. So here's another fun question from one of our viewers and our friends, Kathy. And she asked, "How old were you when you got your first drum kit?" Well, we answered that, but and Did you get on well with your neighbors? And what's your cat's name? Gosh,
My dad's name is Dennis.
no,
Uh,
cat's name.
Cat's name.
oh,
Oh,
my cat's name. Oh yeah, that's Callie.
Oh.
wow.
Yeah, she's
So
up there
cool.
sleeping.
Aw.
Well,
God.
they have the coolest life. Look at that.
She's a sweetheart.
God, true, true, true. So
There she is.
there she is.
Adorable.
Awesome. So,
And I was
taking
16.
you, yeah,
I was 16
good.
when I got my drum set. My neighbors hate me. Actually, that's not true. Only some neighbors hate me. Other neighbors like love
Right.
me because they're like, "Wow, you're really good." But I understand. Like, there's nothing worse than listening to somebody try to learn how to play the drums. I mean, that's just awful.
Right.
But
Just banging on the skins.
yeah, it's like, ugh. But there's always
Right.
one neighbor. It's inevitability. You're gonna have a grumpy neighbor. I mean,
True.
I had a guy here in Santa Barbara at a place I lived. Like the
Hmm.
only person. Seriously, there was a grammar school 100 yards away from the house that was the loudest thing ever all day.
Wow.
And this old grumpy fool would call the cops on me when I'd play drums. Most of the time I'd be
Dude.
finished by the time the cops came, so I never cared. And there's
Yeah.
a few times where I had to deal with them, and my favorite though is the cop comes. He was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry, but I know it's the afternoon, but I got a noise complaint." And then literally, as he said noise complaint, the grammar school let out.
Oh
And
man.
I look at him and I look over there and I look back and he goes, "Yeah, I know.
I know.
Look, I gotta say something. I'm leaving. You do whatever you want. But I gotta tell you, dude, you're really good." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, bro."
Right?
I'm like, I only got about 10 minutes left anyways. I was just running a set before I go on tour. He was like, "You can do whatever you want when I leave."
That's
just-
so cool.
Yeah.
I had to do this, and it makes no sense because, yeah, there's 200 screaming kids right there. He's like, "Whatever."
And yeah, and they're not even in a beat, on
Yeah.
beat.
That's a good job.
Random kids screaming. That's so fun. Gosh. So
So,
yeah, go ahead, Frankie.
question. You mentioned earlier that you were playing piano. Are you still able to play it, and can you play any other instruments?
I regret that I stopped playing piano.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I will learn again someday, for sure.
yeah, one day.
But no, I don't play any
Sure.
other instruments. I've spent so much time trying to become a better drummer,
Mhm.
and I just feel like
Sure.
I have such a long way to go. Like when I start going down the like drum video rabbit hole of like Drumeo and all these phenomenal drummers, and I'll watch like Josh Freese play drums. I'm like, wow, I suck. I need to go practice and so
Sure.
like picking up another instrument, I feel like, even though I should, but I'm just constantly like, yeah, I've got so much work to do on the drums still, because I feel
That's
like there's just
profound.
so
Yes.
much that I can't do that I need to
Yeah,
be able to do, that I want to do as a drummer, you know?
that is true. That's true for everyone. What I personally think is, when you know a little, like you can play a bit, like you feel like you know a lot, and you're like, yeah, dude, I'm a drummer. But as you start going deeper and deeper, and you actually get better at it, but you just start feeling, gosh, I have so many things to work on. Yeah, I don't know this. I don't know this.
Yeah.
And it's like, for the world, you're a virtuoso, but personally, it's like, dude, I have to work on this and that. So it's so profound as well, and it's fantastic. So if you have to, I'm sure there will be many questions thrown at this, but many things to pick. Yet I'd like to ask you three do's and don'ts for a beginner on drums.
Practice, practice, practice.
Correct. That's it.
The don'ts: do not practice.
Practice.
Not practice.
That is the best
I would
answer.
say one of the most important things I think you can do for any instrument, especially in the beginning, is when you're at home, like, and this is something I did, to work on my speed, to work on my, my chops, my consistency. Of course,
Right.
playing with the band and playing along to music or whatever, that's great. But when I would sit at home and watch TV, I'd have a metronome, which now you can just download the metronome app on your phone. But I'd have the
Sure.
metronome set up, and I'd have one little earpiece in, and my practice pad on my coffee table, and I'd watch TV, and I would I'd practice on my practice pad just with a click track going, and I would just do single stroke rolls, you know,
Yes.
and just for
Wow.
hours. And you can do it with your guitar, with your bass, you know, like you got your metronome in one ear, and you're just, because you're not doing anything anyways, you're just watching TV, and you can sit
True.
there and work on scales with a click right in your ear while you're watching Netflix, just like, and it's going.
Woohoo.
And then you can find yourself
True.
like over time, you know, I started to like play along to like the whatever I'm watching, because there's always some type of music and start flowing little patterns, but I always had that metronome in my ear to keep me going.
True.
Because your timing is everything.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
That's
in this
such a
day and
great
age,
advice.
modern recording, everything is on a click track. So if you can't play along to a click track, you're either going to get fired, or they're going to have somebody else do it, or you're going to spend a lot of money, because you're going to be there for a long time trying to play along to this click track, because it's not easy. It takes practice. So, you know, that is one of the main things that I can always stress with playing is just, you know, practice and practice with that. And if you're playing by yourself, you know, have a good day, Bear.
See you, Chris.
They said bye. You know, I found that, and even playing along to music, especially like, you know, anything recorded from like 1998 on, has all been recorded with a click track. So when you're playing along to music, it's recorded to a metronome, you know, to a click. So you're actually playing in time. Now,
playing in time. That's right.
You go further down, you know, 90s, 80s, 70s, and before, there's movement. Like you listen to Sabbath, you know, like my favorite Black Sabbath song to play along to is Heaven and Hell. If you listen to that song, as it sinks into that first verse, it slows down probably 5 beats per minute at least. And it's a progressive.
Right.
What's up, girl?
Hello. Meow. That is so cool. Such an advice, you know.
Yeah, so I have a pretty serious question. I don't think you've ever been asked such a question on a podcast. What's your favorite color?
Ooh.
Dude.
Red is one of my favorite colors, actually.
Mine too.
Wow.
Even though I lost black. But yeah, I like red.
Yeah. Black and red are the main ones. Yeah.
Black is pretty much our default favorite color, I think.
Yeah. Because it just looks good.
Yeah.
That's all right. Totally.
You know?
Do you sing in the shower?
Absolutely.
Who doesn't?
Rock and roll.
Absolutely.
And what was the last thing you Googled on your phone or anywhere?
Ooh. The last thing I Googled, besides a menu for a restaurant, was probably yesterday out of boredom. Well, not boredom, but me Googling where certain gaps are in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the last thing I Googled was Where's the big
Yeah.
rail gap in School 2 on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2?
Wow.
Fun.
That
Fun.
was the last thing I Googled.
Good. It's so
And let me
fun.
ask you a question. There's any song that is stuck in your head at the moment? Something that you just can't stop thinking about the song or listening to the song?
Actually, this morning I woke up singing Little Nicky by Prince for some random reason. So good. But lately,
awesome.
actually, a song that's been stuck in my head the most is one of the new songs that we've been working on with my band Versus the World.
Oh yeah.
Just one of the melodies, like I wake up with it, I sing it all day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy good. So that has been one that has been kind of sticking with me lately. And ironically enough, there is there's two other songs. My friend John Snodgrass, he put out a record with this artist Frank Turner. Or actually, Frank Turner put out a record, and my buddy John Snodgrass is on the record. And there is a song about Santa Barbara that John wrote about us
Wow.
a while ago, and it's on that record, and it's just too funny. But the melody is ridiculously catchy.
Yeah.
And he calls Santa Barbara S-Bar, which nobody calls Santa Barbara S-Bar, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
So that song has been stuck in my head, and there's a new Chris Stapleton song there's two songs actually that I seem to get stuck in my head.
Right. That's amazing.
Okay.
It's so fun to know. Gosh.
I listen to everything. So
right.
Well, I've read somewhere that you listen to Kiss, so I'm really happy about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big Kiss fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while we're at this, I guess it's time to introduce one of our friends' new project. It's not new though, but Anna from Rock Dance Theater, she is now offering physiotherapy for the rock stars,
Awesome.
and that's so cool. And she's also having this segment called Med Talks, and she's talking everything about physical health and mental health, and uh, it's pretty much important to stay healthy for a rock star. So she is doing this thing, and all her socials are in the description below. So go ahead and do check out after the episode, of course. So check her out on Facebook and Instagram, whatnot. Everything is in the description. So
awesome.
Thank you, Anna. And secondly, would you like to share with us some fun moments from on stage and off stage fun moments, or your favorite ones with any band?
Let's see.
So many.
There's so many. Let's see. One of my favorites with Beasto was on, I want to say maybe it was the first Monsters of Rock. Well, two things happened. One, because it was the first time I'd ever played with them. And like, I'd never, seen Calico perform. And one time on stage with the Real Mckenzies, our guitar player Kurt jumped off the drum riser and broke his leg on stage.
Gosh.
It was kind of gnarly. So Calico does this thing. She jumped up and slammed to the ground, and like a full memory of Kurt breaking his leg. And I'm just like, looked over and I'm like, oh crap, it happened again. And that's just Calico's thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But the next show we played on that cruise, she was swinging her bat, and she had no idea that Brother Latham was right there, and he literally did a limbo underneath
Oh wow.
the bat that if he wouldn't have known, he might have had a
Good.
spike sticking out of his head. It was kind of gnarly. I was
Oh
like,
man.
Oh.
Wow.
Good.
What a story.
Yes,
um,
yes. It's so fun.
that one, and I actually have footage of it. A couple years
Wow.
ago with Good Riddance, we
Mm-hmm.
playing this huge festival in Italy,
Mm-hmm.
12, 15,000 people, you know, and
Yeah.
two things happened.
Uh-huh.
But the first one was I literally got the entire crowd to start clapping from behind my drum set, and my buddy
And
filmed
how
it.
was that?
It was pretty awesome.
Cool.
But there's also this little kid and his family, and I'm like this kid's hero, and this kid is a little kid, and he is a ripping drummer. And
Wow.
the year before, we were playing some big shows in Italy with the Offspring and Pennywise. And we're playing, and
Yeah.
I look out, and there's this giant sign that says "Go Sean," and this little kid on his dad's shoulders. So then we
Whoa.
come back, and we're playing this festival, and I still have the kid brought me his drumsticks, and they're with me at every show. They sit in my stick bag, and I gave him. So he had
Wow,
to
that's
sign
so
again.
wonderful.
So after the set, you know, I was like, hey, I went down and I grabbed the kid, and seriously, there's all thousands of people watching this. I didn't care, but
True.
I wanted to say hi to the kid and meet him and grab him, and I bring him up on stage to get a picture, and the whole crowd lost their mind that I did that.
Right?
The next day I wake
God,
up
what
and
a
there was a
visual.
message in my messenger. Well, this kid and his dad, he was on Italy's Got Talent playing punk rock songs, and his dad's wearing a Good Riddance shirt.
Wow.
And this kid, I was like,
Whoa.
holy shit, this kid might be better than me. So then I ended up like, and then the next time, like, I ended up having him come up, and I'm like, okay, the next time I'm here after COVID, I'll get in touch with him to have him he learned a Good Riddance song, but we never play that song. So I was like, dude, like, you got to learn one that we play.
Oh yeah.
And then you can come up and play. But I had him come up and do the end of the set, and he just starts ripping. It was so cool. So that was one of my favorites with them for sure.
Wow, that's such a wonderful memory, actually.
And then
that's so cool.
My favorite memory with the Real Mckenzies.
Uh-huh. Gosh, gosh.
So there's a
fun already.
backstory to this really quick. So Real Mckenzies are signed to Fat Records, which is NoFX's record label, and Good Riddance is on Fat Records also.
Mm-hmm.
My first record with the Real Mckenzies, we end up going to Japan with NoFX. NoFX is huge in Japan. So we have 3 sold out shows in Tokyo, like 3,500 people.
Humongous.
A night. Massive. Awesome.
Man.
First show.
So cool.
We have a 30-minute set. That's it. Only 30 minutes.
What?
My singer and guitar player got so wasted on sake.
Wow.
The first 15 minutes were going really good. And then my singer,
my God,
cannot remember the words to the song. So bad that the monitor guy for NoFX, and he was doing our sound, he comes over the PA, but only in the monitors, and he was like, yeah, I think that was good enough for tonight. And we're just like, that's it.
God.
So, okay, now granted, everybody in the band in the Real Mckenzies wears a kilt. So, and nothing underneath the kilt. So we're like, okay, you know what? we're gonna get Paul back for ruining that first show. It was the third and final show in Tokyo, and we're about to do the last song. And they didn't tell me because it's sort of irrelevant for me because I'm sitting on a drum set. We're getting ready to go into the last song and whatever. Paul's talking to the crowd, which is sort of funny, but everybody in the band leaves. And I'm like, where is everybody going? My bagpiper comes behind the bass rig and he takes his kilt off and gets naked. And I'm like, what? And then I look and like, here comes my band naked back on stage. Now, granted, every backstage room has a TV that's showing the show. Nobody was on stage other than my band. I swear to you, within 45 at most seconds, that stage was filled with everybody from NoFX, all the other bands. They were like,
the heck?
oh my gosh, what is happening? So when you wear a kilt, you have a thing called a sporran, which is basically like, you know, it's right in the front. It's like a belt, but the sporran holds your wallet and everything. Mm-hmm. Well, Paul, his sporran had broke, so he just had a kilt on. The band comes out naked. Paul looks at everybody and he was like, well, not on my watch. And Paul gets naked. 3,500 people. And my band is buck naked. And the crowd is losing their mind. Everybody, you know, everybody's on stage just like, and even NoFX is like, okay, well, we got nothing. Our jokes don't go over that good in Japan because they don't understand what the hell we're saying. And y'all just got naked. And then my bagpipe player does a naked stage dive at the end of the set. And he's getting passed around naked.
My God.
Naked.
God.
But the best.
God.
I'm playing, and the drummer in NoFX looks at me, and he was like, why aren't you naked? And I look at him, and I go, get me naked. And I stood up, and he's trying to take my kilt off. And then at one point, I'm laughing, and Eric looks at me, and he was like, what the F am I doing? I'm trying to get a grown man naked, and he was like, I'm out. What am I doing? It was super funny.
Gosh.
Amazing.
Oh, I love it.
That's like the crazy.
Never before and never. There's pictures of it.
Crazy.
Unreal.
Oh my God.
Naked stage dive. Matt was my hero for that one. He was like, dude, that was the weirdest feeling. Like thousands of hands on my ass getting pushed to the stage.
Gosh.
Crazy.
So good.
Crazy. But I'm gonna need some time to register this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it says I go away to make a snack and this is what I come back to. I'm sorry.
Good. This is the funniest thing. Well,
She says for that reason Real Mckenzies never returned to Japan. Okay.
Oh, that's my buddy Aspie. Aspie plays bagpipes in the Real Mckenzies now.
oh, wow.
Since the beginning.
So
So
thank you for joining, and I can see. Yeah.
I love
Aspie. Go ahead.
He is one of the sweetest, most amazing people I've ever met. And
So
Aspie
cool.
is a very tall. He's a big dude.
Totally.
I love him so much.
Totally. So cool. So cool. Well, man, I hate to end this thing, but I think we're over an hour, and this has been such a great time. But this is truly not enough for me or any of us hosts or even the people watching. So I would totally and desperately invite you over for a part 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah.
And brother Latham is also gonna join us someday,
Yeah.
and
Maybe together.
I yeah, totally together. And there's Professor Vic. I call him Professor Vic. Great.
Victor. Yeah, man.
So that will be so cool to do it together once again.
Definitely.
And such a pleasure, everybody. I'm sure
Yeah,
the comments are firing up. Totally fun time. And obviously, a lot of things more to ask, but I'm gonna keep them safe for the second
sure.
part.
Perfect.
But people, and you mentioned versus the world. Where can we find them online? On Facebook or anywhere? Is the music
Pretty much
out?
anywhere. They have a few records out. I'm not on those
Uh,
records, but I will be on definitely the next one. But you can
cool.
Spotify,
Mhm.
iTunes,
Cool.
YouTube,
Awesome.
Instagram,
Awesome.
Facebook,
Wherever you can.
all the outlets.
All the outlets, totally. And all the description, I mean, all the info for good Riddance and Beasto Blanco is already in the description. So
Yeah,
do check out that. And these killer albums are already out by Beasto Blanco. So do check them out. And these are Sean's socials. So if you wanna go follow him on Instagram or connect with him on Facebook, here are his socials. Do check out Good Riddance and Beasto Blanco. These are really crazy bands and such fun stories. So thank you for sharing with us, Sean. And
absolutely. Thank you guys for
especially
having me.
you've been holding your phone for a long time. I truly think your hand needs rest.
It's all good.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of
And
course. Thank you
everyone,
guys.
I guess Karen is in the comments. Thank you, ma'am, for watching us. And much love to you guys. Much love to Chris and Sean and everybody from Beast of Blanco. We love you. And
Love you guys too. Hi, baby.
and thank you, everyone. And keep rocking. I hope your week and your day rocks. Have a great Sunday. And keep rocking and be crazy.
Always.
Be always. So, thank you once again. This has been such a pleasure with Sean Sellers, and we'll hopefully meet you again next time. And Kara, thank you so much. Go follow Loyal Beasts. Special thanks to them and all the Roxy Guitar Army cadets. Thank you for joining. Uh, you'll find the info in the description. And have a safe weekend. Keep
Yes.
rocking always. And thank you, Sean, once again.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Absolutely.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Love and peace. Ciao.